Well, thanks for joining us. I mean, this is a crazy time for Supercross.
It is.
Changing teams, lots of up-and-coming riders. Kind of a crazy time. I mean, it's really exciting. I'd like to start with, how did the end of last year go? How did you lose the ride with Suzuki, and how did you gain the ride with Kawasaki?
It wasn't really a fact of losing the ride. It just came down to the economic tough times. It all came out with a few meetings here and there with Monster Energy. They were wanting to become a title sponsor of my Super X series in Australia.
Oh.
So you know, over a period of about a month, we got that deal done, and you know, coming to know them, and you know, we kind of just shifted gears a little bit into, you know, possibly me becoming a Monster athlete, and it all just snowballed from there. And you know, here we are at Monster Energy Kawasaki, and it's been great. You know, my transition's been really easy, and I'm really enjoying it and getting ready for the first race.
So Monster was a big impetus for how it came about for the USA,
absolutely.
for Kawasaki.
Monster played a majority of the role in
Wow.
in the negotiating and trying to get it done. So you know, they were launching their energy drink down in Australia, and you know, being Australian was a perfect fit, and you know, the timing and everything like that. So it all worked out great.
Well, that's cool. Kind of what I think people would like to know is, okay, you changed factory bikes. That's big, because when a consumer changes bikes, okay, it goes from one brand to another. He's got to get used to it, but that's about it. I mean, you're riding at the absolute top level, best in the world. Factory bikes, factory suspension, factory everything. How do you go from a bike that is so highly developed for you to a new team, a new bike, and develop all that over again for your riding level? I mean, how hard is that?
It's you know, it's two-sided. I think you know, at the very top level, you know, we can customize our bikes quite easily to us. And for me, I'm lucky that I've been around the sport quite a while.
Right.
I've been racing a 450 for the last 3-4 years, so I have a good base, and
Right.
you know, a good program that I kind of know what I want, and you kind of just, you know, you get in there and you get straight to work, and you kind of go after that feeling that you enjoy and that you like, that can, you know, make you be the best and most comfortable rider that you can be. So really, it's a matter of, you know, just getting in and, you know, realizing the good and the bad, and trying to meet in the middle, and you know, make a motorcycle that makes you, you know, comfortable to go racing. And we achieved that goal, you know, really quick.
Really quick, huh?
So so it was nice. Sometimes at a production level, you just go buy a bike, and kind of what you get is what you get, you know.
Or a small change, but not
you can
complete.
change some, you know, some small changes. So at our level, we're really lucky that we can change, you know, multiple large pieces of the motorcycle to make us comfortable.
Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you at with bike development?
I think you know, 10 being the very best that we can be. I really believe, you know, we're around an 8, and I believe, you know, to get from an 8 to a 10 is, you know, I think is in dream world a little bit. You know, I think that in your own head you have this feeling, and you're forever chasing it.
So you're really there. I mean, you know.
I think we're doing really well. I think we're to a point where we really need to go racing and figure out where we're at. You know, I think Ryan and I are both comfortable, and it's a matter of, you know, going to Anaheim and being around a different motorcycles. And you know, when you're at a test track, everybody's on that test track is on the same bike.
Right.
So, you know, if there's, you know, a particular way that our bike turns, then it's throughout the whole, you know, teams, and everybody has that same bike. So when you get to the race, everybody's on multiple different bikes, and that's when you really figure out, you know, if you got a big enough base to.
That's a really good point. You know, it's like all of a sudden somebody's beating you in turning, or your bike's faster, or your suspension's superior. That's the only way you're going to learn is actual competition.
Yeah. So you know, I think that we've got to a point where we're really comfortable, and we feel like we're competitive. So we just need to go to the races, and it's the nature of the beast. You know, what works at the test track doesn't always work at the racetrack. So we're at that point where we've kind of come to a halt, and we need to, you know, go to that next level, and the only way we can achieve that is by going racing.
Well, you mentioned Ryan Villopoto. What's it like having him as a teammate? And the biggest question I have is, do you guys interact very much? Do you ever test together? Are you on 2 separate programs, or partially one, or how's that work on
Yeah, I mean, Ryan as a rider and as a person, you know, I really have a lot of respect for him. He's a great kid, and he's actually really fun to be around. So to this point, I haven't been around him a whole lot. As soon as I signed on with the team, I took off to Australia and did my Supercross series down there.
And won that, congratulations.
And won that, so that was great. And then I came back and we did a photo shoot together, and so we've only really rode maybe 2 or 3 times, and each time is being in, you know, kind of like a photo shoot or a testing situation.
Right.
It hasn't been, you know, where we've really been there, and you know, he's doing his program, I'm doing my program. So with me being in California now, I think you know, this next week after the first race, we'll you know, get to spend some time and, you know, do some motos together, and I think it's going to help us. You know, I think that I have a real open mind to it, and you know, I've been around for a long time, so for me, I've checked my you know, all the baggage and everything that goes along, you know, check that at the door and just come in like an open book and ready to have fun. You know, I think us being teammates can only be a good thing.
Yeah, and as we know from his short comeback and what he was doing before he left, and over the last 2 years, he's done amazing things. I mean, do you feel he's going to be right up there battling for the lead, and who else do you think will be at the front of the pack this year? How do you feel about the group? I mean, it's been, you know, you and James primarily for so much of it. Do you think that's going to change this year? I mean, Ryan certainly.
I think that history says that James and I are the obvious two that can, you know, we've proven we can win, you know, week in, week out. We can win the titles and achieve that at this level on this bike. You know, the two Ryans, Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, I think they have the tools to come on in and win races. Ryan has already proven, you know, winning two races at the end of last year. So, you know, they've all got the tools. They're all very, very talented. It's just whether they can handle it in that environment, you know. So we'll kind of see. I believe Ryan is going to be really, really strong, and he's going to be there, you know, week in and week out. He's proven that on the lights bike.